Hi everyone and welcome to today's episode. Today I really want to share some amazing stuff with you guys. I haven't been on for such a long time because I've been just doing some side projects here and there and organizing a few things that I thought was really important to put out there, especially because a lot more people were reaching out, wanting some questions answered, wanting some help with certain things. So I have been off my podcast for a while, but I wanted to share this podcast and say, hey, I'm still here, and I hope you guys are still enjoying listening and watching the podcast. Now, if you are listening to this and you want to switch over to YouTube, the reason being is because I just want to share what I've been doing, the projects I've been sharing. I'm sure I've touched it here and there. You've probably seen them advertised on my social media. But yes, I did create a book, and I want to go into detail as to why I did that. See, when I was diagnosed, I remember going around, and this is a true story, I was going around with books. Like, the first thing is, when you're first diagnosed with breast cancer, you have no idea what to do. You have no idea where to get started, what's the best thing going forward, things like that. So I started looking at everything. I was one of these people that after I put my dream team together, which is something I highly recommend, well, the first thing I highly recommend is take a step back and then put a dream team together and then make decisions on what you want to do going forward. But it was really important for me to make sure that I had the best of everything, and I knew I had to do some healing. I needed to heal myself, not just physically. I needed to heal my heart, needed to heal my soul, my mind, and everything around me. So I started carrying all these books on self-help books. What am I doing wrong in my life? Like what happens is I was getting to a point where I was living just an everyday Monday to Friday job day and nothing else. There was nothing else growing in my life. I wasn't doing anything that I wanted to do. So I started getting books about, how to better, be happier, learn how to live with myself a bit more better. I wasn't loving myself. I was giving all my love to friends, family, husbands, and things like that, but never to myself. So I was carrying a lot of those self-help books, things about, goal keeping and forgiveness and so much more. And then I started, I love coloring in. Part of meditation, I love coloring in mandalas, and that would help me when I'd go to my appointments. Instead of sitting there rocking or biting my nails and things like that, what I would do is I would just sit there and I would color in, and it'll just keep my mind quiet. It'll keep it still. And that's why I started, coloring in mandalas. Then I had a journal because I wanted to write. I was angry. There were times where I was angry. There was time where I was bargaining, like almost selling your soul. If I give this, would I get this in return? And then when I was starting to self-help myself, like I was starting to go through what was really good benefits to heal myself, I started to write down some things I needed to let go of in my life, some things I needed to replace. So I started to journal a lot. I had a planner because obviously you have so many appointments, whether it's scans, whether it's blood works, whether it's follow-ups of the scans, whether it's follow-ups of your appointments with your doctors, whatever it is, you get, first, especially in the first 3 months, you have so many appointments here and there, and it's overwhelming. So my backpack used to be heavy to the point where my husband used to say, what are you carrying in this bag? And I used to say, well, my books, and so I had so many books that I would say to people, oh, you need to get books on this and you need to find books on that, and about breast cancer, about healing yourself, about things to do, growing and learning how to really be your authentic self. And you need a planner and you need a journal and you need this. And then I started thinking, well, that was way too much books, and even for myself it was way too much. So that is why I created the Breast Cancer Heroes Journey Journal. So this one here is one of the old ones, because I'm actually just sold out that I have to actually get some more. I've actually ordered some more books with spiral, which looks like that, but I'll show you this book in a minute. So what I did was I put everything in the one book, also questions. That was really important because I talk about you need to ask questions. Whatever surgeon you're going to, hopefully a specialist breast cancer surgeon, and you want to ask so many questions about your journey. What are good for you, what aren't. You want all the pros and cons. So I put all that in there, so it wasn't just my questions, it was questions that I remember speaking to my own breast cancer surgeon, and I said, look, if there was questions I didn't ask at the time, but there were questions that people just being diagnosed with breast cancer should ask, what would they be? So that's why I included it all in this one book. So when you actually go to your appointment, you have everything in the one book. So you've got your journal, you've got your planner, you've got your mandalas, you've got your questions, you've got, you know, self-help things to do, things like that. But then what I did was I then created another breast cancer journal workbook. And the reason being is because it's got extra pages for you to journal, color in, write, scribble, whatever you want to do. So at least instead of carrying so many books, you're carrying 2 books. That's why. And it was really important that I wanted to share that. So that's what's been happening. That's where I've been, I guess, hiding. Where have you been, Grace? So besides creating these books, I started helping more and more women with their own journey. And I brought out like a 3-month mentoring. It's a one-on-one that I do with clients where they come to me. I'm part of their what they call the dream team, where I will sit there in a virtual, you know, on a virtual phone call with their doctors or, you know, with their surgeons, whoever it is that they want me to be there. And I jot down notes and I write down everything. And if I feel that there wasn't enough questions being asked, I ask some more questions. It just helps. When you go to these appointments, I always say to people, don't go on your own. Some people don't want others to know that they're going through a breast cancer, journey. And that's okay. So that's what I'm there. I'm like your little silent friend who's there to help you. I'm there to support you. But I'm also there to be a guide for you as well as a friend, because I want you to make sure that if you are having a day where you're not feeling 100%, I want you to be able to talk about it. And not always we get the opportunity to talk to friends and family without feeling, oh, am I going to say too much? Are they going to understand? Are they going to get offended? Things like that. So that's where I come in. So I've been doing that as well. So, and what's been great about that is because I've been doing more and more research as well. And I've noticed so many things have changed. So when I mentor women, I actually tell them, by the way, these are some more stats that are coming out proving A, B, and C. Make sure you ask more questions about this. Unfortunately, I'm getting too many women after the fact say to me, oh, if only I knew, Grace, if only I came to you in the beginning, it would have saved me from removing my breast. If only I came to you in the beginning, Grace, it would have made me understand the chemo I was doing, where I've got now another issue coming up. Things like that are raising up. And that's why I'm not here to stop that. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get people in the very, very early stage. So when I talk to you in the beginning, it's because I want you to have the whole puzzle. There's no hidden secrets. There's no, oh, look what just popped up. And I'll give you examples. Some of the chemo treatments, some women have a secondary cancer, or they get a different type of diagnosis down the track. You need to ask exactly what are the side effects, not the side effects in the next 3 months, not the side effects in the next 12 months, not the side effects in the next 2 years. What are the long-term side effects? And what's happening is people are saying, Doc, just do it. I just want to get it over and done with. They become cancer-free, and that is the best news. But unfortunately, what happens is it's coming back as something else. It's coming back as another disease. It's coming back as something else that they have to treat. And I'm not talking 5 years. Some of them have come after 6, some of them 3, some of them after 10 years being cancer-free. So this is why I don't want you to have any hidden surprises and just, yes, we're trying to get rid of breast cancer. Because what I want you to understand is getting rid of one thing is great, but you don't want to create something else. So if it means you are doing the chemo, that is your choice. Maybe look at the side effects and see if there's something you can do in the meantime now, so then in the future that thing doesn't show up, whatever the side effect may have been. It's also, unfortunately, there's more stats coming out with people getting implants, where they're now saying that implants are linked more to breast cancer. So you'll hear that a lot more women are going flat-chested these days. It's because they're doing their homework and they're looking at it from their point of view, not from the world's point of view, but their own point of view. And they're saying, what are the side effects. Now, if one of the side effects are, there is a high chance, there's a 50% chance, a 20% chance, a 15% chance, a 10% chance, a 5% chance, and you think it's too high, then you can make other choices, other decisions. Ask your surgeon, other than getting an implant, what else is there? I know that there's other ways that they can actually do a plastic surgery on your breast without having to put an implant. So just ask, what are my choices? What have I got to work with? And when you have everything and you look at the pros and cons of everything, that's when you can make your decision. If and only if it does show up later on in life, that's when you can address it, but you're not surprised. You're not going to say, oh my goodness, I had no idea about that. The doctor didn't tell me anything about that. So these are things that lately I've been working with more and more women, and more women are coming up with these things as well. They're telling me, Grace, I really didn't need to have a lumpectomy. Grace, I really didn't need to do an axillary clearance. I wish I had come to you earlier. This is why I work with women just diagnosed. I can't stress that enough, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull back the brakes, putting on that handbrake. It can be scary, but I need you to pull that handbrake so then you can actually say, right, okay, I've just been diagnosed. Instead of jumping in the deep end, jumping in murky waters, I have no idea what's going to happen. You are then got a clear plan in front of you. I help you put a plan together. What are you going to try and do? It's not the be all end all either. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the only thing you're going to do. You're going to try so many different options, and that's what we go through. But there is nothing that the doctor's going to tell you in 3 months or in 6 months or in 12 years or in 10 years that you're going to be surprised. What you are you going to say, yeah, that's right. I knew of those risks before, but so I can avoid those risks in 10 years from now, what can I do with this plan, this current treatment? Instead of having a high 20% risk of this going wrong later on, what can I do to avoid that while I'm doing this treatment? It's a matter of understanding, and you're in control. You're in the driver's seat and you're in control of your breast cancer journey. And it's really, really important. So it started off with the book where I had everything in there. And then from the book, I then started to, because a lot of people were still reaching out after having the book in front of them, still saying, Grace, I just need your help. I need you to be there. And that's what I'm part of your dream team. I'm part of your dream team. Whether you are telling family or whether you're telling no one, everything I do with each and every client I have is strictly confidential, unless it's something you do want me to talk about on my podcast. I don't mention your name unless you want to share that with others. But if it's something that you feel important, like some of these women, they feel it's important, telling me, Grace, you need to tell people about, that there's long-term, risks in chemo. There's long-term risks in radiation, and they've got to be aware of it. This is why I want to share it, because these people have gone there, and unfortunately they found out this way. The women who have had implants have now got infections, have now been diagnosed with a secondary breast cancer, or not secondary, but another breast cancer diagnosis. So you just want to be sure, you want to make sure that you have everything in front of you. So I really wanted to jump on and just be there for you guys. It's been a while. I haven't run away, and I just really wanted to share this because it's really, really important. So if you feel like you have any questions to ask me, please feel free. I'll have all the links below. You can reach me directly and ask me questions. If you want, I'll also have the book. If you or someone you know is going through breast cancer, I'll have the link for the book so you can purchase that, as well as the secondary book. Actually, at the moment, I've got both of them for an amazing price. But having said that, I really wanted to share what I've been doing. I know it's been a long time, but I'm still helping. I'm still at service for other women, and I'm still helping them out. And I really love what I'm doing, because if it helps one person make a better decision of their treatment, then I've done something great. So I really appreciate you guys being here. Like always, I wish you guys so much love and light.